Hi everyone, welcome to Sue's Day. I'm Sue Ann Jafarian, the fat woman driving the novel RV. I want to talk about something that happened to me a few days ago. I received the dreaded knock on the door. Now, if you're an RVer, or especially a van lifer, you know what that means. It means that either the police or security knocked on your door to tell you that you are parked where you shouldn't be parked, particularly overnight. It happens from time to time. You pull into maybe a Walmart parking lot or a rest area or whatever that doesn't allow overnight parking, and you'll get the knock, usually late at night, and you have to move. Well, I got the dreaded knock recently, but it wasn't because I was parked where I shouldn't have been. I was in a campground. I had reserved 2 weeks there. Everything was cool. At 11 a.m. one morning, I got a knock on my door. Now, let's back up a few hours. About 8 hours earlier, in the middle of the night, I woke up sick as a dog. I mean, sick. Out of the blue, sick. And I was up most of the night. I was running a fever, I had horrible chills, the whole thing. It was probably the norovirus, which is going around and highly contagious. But either way, I was sick all night. So that morning when I was feeling a little better, I checked in with some friends, let them know what was happening, as I always do. And then I went back to bed thinking I could sleep all day. I had no place to be. Then the knock came on the door. So, still in my jammies, I opened up my sliding door to see on the other side of the screen a ranger, a young ranger who looked remarkably like Prince Harry. I kid you not. Then again, I didn't have my glasses on and I was a little feverish, but to me, he looked like Prince Harry. And so, Ranger Harry announces to me that I needed to move, that they were closing the campground down because the lake it was on was at capacity and they were expecting a couple of more big storms to come through. Okay, I wasn't totally surprised. I knew the storms were coming and I had been watching the lake that had been slowly encroaching on the edge of the campground since the last rain. So, not totally surprised. Inconvenienced? Yes, not totally surprised. So I assured the young ranger that I would be moving on as soon as possible. They were giving us until 6 that night to clear out. So, I sat down and my first thought was, oh my God, I need to get out of here and I am sick as a dog. So I kind of did my Scarlett O'Hara impression, where shall I go? What shall I do? And then I pulled myself together and I looked at camping apps. I looked at weather apps first to see where this storm was heading and coming from. And then I finally decided where I was going to head. It's a favorite campground in Alabama, in Wetumpka, the Fort Toulouse Jackson campground, where I knew I could get a camp spot and they were out of the range of these big storms. Okay, now I had to get there. I washed up, I dressed, I got the van ready. I dragged myself through the process of unplugging and getting everything settled. And I took off a little after 1. Maybe it was closer to 1:30. I can't really remember. As I said, I was running a fever. Anyway, my first stop was a McDonald's where I got myself not 1, but 2 milkshakes for the road since I wasn't able to really eat anything. And then I took off and I drove over 3.5 hours with just a couple of stops along the way to stretch my legs and use the bathroom. So I got here at 5:30, shortly before sundown, and the camp host greeted me, and I paid for my stay and got plugged in and got the van ready. And then I put my jammies back on and went to bed, after assuring friends that I had arrived safely. So, the point of this Tuesday video is that you always have to be ready to zig when you really want to zag. You have to be ready for those knocks on the door, whether they're coming because of a flooding lake or because you're where you're not supposed to be. You have to be ready and pull yourself together and make alternative plans on the fly. So I'm back in Wetumpka, Alabama, at least for this week. They are going to get rain, but I'm not in any danger of any flooding. And I'm almost over this nasty virus. Actually, I think it's pretty well over, except I'm still very tired. And I'm filming this a few days before Tuesday, so I'm just going to stay here and take care of myself and get over this bug. And I'm so thankful that I had a place to go and could get there so quickly. So you all have a great Tuesday, and please return next week for the next video. When you live on the road, you never know what's going to crop up. Who knows? Well, I'll be talking about next time. But anyway, thank you, and please subscribe to this channel if you like it.